Welcome to selfdiscoveryradio.com, where the orchard of wisdom is just ready for picking. We celebrate your why, the journey that you've taken that inspires someone else. We support your services, we support your story. Come and be our guest, become a host, be an author with us. Come and see what we've got. Our next show is... Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Choose Positive Living. I'm your host, Sara Troy, and my guest today is Challenor. I was recently interviewed by her for her summit that is coming up called Connecting to Your Intuition Mastery Summit, where she's interviewed quite a number of us on how we have stepped into our intuition, how we use it, how we master it, the wonderful tools for it. We're going to be talking about that summit today, and you'll see a link here both on the video and also on the posting to that link to that summit where you can sign up and listen to all the wonderful wisdom that's coming from various people. So we're going to be talking about the summit, but we're also going to be talking about our own intuitive work and how it came about. Now, I have to say we are having a bit of feedback and delay today. We're doing this from Canada to Australia. The miracle of the internet, but also sometimes the little bit of things that happen along the way. So bear with us if we have a bit of delay or a bit of feedback. Okay, folks? The content, I promise you, is going to be great. So I really did enjoy very much being on your summit with you, and very honored to be a part of it. Let us start off with talking about this Intuition Summit, connecting to our intuition and what it's all about, and then we're going to roll over to your work and who you are. Welcome to the show, love.
Thank you, Sarah, and it was a pleasure to interview you, and I was so honoured to have you as one of my guests. This summit came about because I believe we've all got the tools to connect to our intuition, and sometimes we just forget about them, or sometimes we're just not aware that we've got these tools. So they're innate gifts within us that we all have, and it's a matter of showing people how they can access their intuition. And your intuition is really powerful. It's sort of the driver of your actions and your thinking. And once you start following it, the magic begins. And this is what I've also found by interviewing all the various guests and experts that I've spoken to. They've all sort of started on a path and a journey over here, but then once they've followed their intuition, they've got onto the spiritual side of things, the healing side of things, and to be on purpose and create a life that they love and enjoy. So it's just magical. So that's sort of part. And also interviewing various experts like I have is showing everyone it's no cookie cutter formula. Everyone is different. So the way they connect to their intuition is going to be different, and different tools will resonate with different people. So what I've also wanted to do is to be authentic with this summit and masterclass, and I've asked each of the experts to use me as the client or the guinea pig, if you like, to demonstrate their tools, demonstrate how we can connect and tap into your intuition. So it's been really fantastic. There's all sorts of different modalities and different ways of connecting, but the message has still been the same, that the common thread is once you listen to yourself and that part of you that knows all, like your higher self, and connecting with spirit, and follow that advice, you just are on a journey that just is, I suppose you could say, with grace and ease. Yes. You have, everyone has their challenges, but it's just makes it a whole lot easier, and you're doing what you're meant to be doing, and there's no doubt about it. And that's what comes through with each of the interviews that I've done.
And of course, each one of those people, like myself, has taken the journey to get there. And one has to understand that self-discovery of who you are as a human being and what purpose you are here for, what is, quote, your musical instrument in this orchestra of life, is part of the reason why we're here. And when we step into that, we come from that intuitive, that soul presence that ignites the heart and the spirit and the mind into action. And it's only when you do step into that intuition, that connection, that beautiful divine presence, that you really do step into being who you are really meant to be. And it's a wonderful realization, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, it's just yeah, I just keep saying it's magical, but that's sort of a good analogy. It is. It's just blissful, and you feel peaceful and calm, and yeah, you just know you're on the right path, and that's really important for people, because sometimes you kind of flounder around and get frustrated and think, what am I meant to be doing? And sometimes that can spiral downwards into anxiety and depression, and feeling a bit lost. You've lost your path, and it's important to get back on your path and be of service and help everybody with your special gifts and talents.
Yeah, exactly. Because once you do step into that, and you've had your own journey here, 20 years of stepping into your own presence, from your own adversity, daily stress, illness, etc. Sometimes I call it is the kiss on the brow, the little wind that tries to gently push us down another path. And sometimes we get the cosmic 2x4. You can say, have you got the message yet? Yeah. But it's all to bring us to ourselves, to our purpose and to our beingness. And so share a little bit about your journey and redirection into igniting your intuition.
Okay. Well, I've been dealt sort of the hard cards, I think. I'll go back when I was a teenager. When I was 14 and a half, my mother passed away of cancer, and my father remarried when I was 16, and then he passed away at 17 and a half with a sudden heart attack. So we sort of had the Brady Bunch, so 3 of us and 3 of them, and things were sort of okay, but once he passed, it was sort of like you felt on your own. Mm-hmm. So I was also into astrology as a teenager and just working out personality types by the descriptions, and I don't know, I was a bit intuitive back then, but I didn't really realise it. And then I went to university, and I was going to start out to be a lawyer, and then that didn't work, but I was a creative being. And I would also go to clairvoyance because I thought I needed some help and guidance, and I thought they'd understand me and I'd understand them. So that was in my 20s, and it wasn't until a lot later, like I did Reiki and a whole lot of tools to help people heal themselves, because I thought my parents' journey is not my journey, but I want to get out there and help people. And I was a firm believer of Louise Hay and the mind-body connection, that all emotions lead to a dis-ease in the body. Mm-hmm. So I read about her work and affirmations and things. So I was just on this journey, I suppose, ever since a teenager. And I really got into my intuition and sort of trusting it when I had got married. And it was a lot of emotional abuse. And I was teaching meditation classes. I've got a little healing clinic here where I'm sitting. And my ex-husband would have arguments just before I meant to run a class, and I've got to put on the brave face. And I got interested in working with angels because I needed to get my inner strength from somewhere. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I was going to be, I felt, in a mental institution, because there's a lot of lies. He was feeding me all sorts of lies and stories. And I think, am I losing my mind? And I had a girlfriend. I had to ring and check, does this make sense? So the truth came out in the end. And I also was dabbling with tarot cards and did a tarot reading on my relationship, and got the moon reversed, which sort of is telling me there's something going on in the background, or there's a third person around. And the truth came out in the end that he was having an affair and living a double life. But what I needed, my strength came in going into here, doing the meditations, connecting with spirit, connecting with guidance, just to get that strength and to keep on going. And so the marriage dissolved. And then in 2006, my sister was diagnosed with a non-smoker's cancer. So I thought, oh my God, how can I help her? So I went and then learned about theta healing. And that's all about connecting with source and spirit and, getting to the source of the issue. So I did a lot of distant work with her, because I'm in Melbourne, she's in Sydney. And actually gave her, an extra 18 months of life. And the beauty is I gave her the gift that I could give her, that just before she crossed over to the white light, she had to open her heart to love, and that was her lesson in this lifetime. So she was able to do that before she passed. So I thought that was a gift that I could give her. But part of all this has all just been trusting my intuition, listening to that guidance, tuning in, and just asking for, what actions do I need to take, and then waiting to listen. And I think through doing the various tools and modalities, and even tuning in with the Reiki energy and developing my psychic mediumship skills, it's all just blossomed, and it's a really good toolkit. And it has been, as you said, with adversity. After my sister passed, I think I had, post-grief, I was grieving, I was exhausted. I used to work full-time and do a party plan on the weekend. So I was working 6-7 days a week, and I did this for a few years, and I knew I was going to come a cropper, and I did. And I couldn't get out of bed for several months. It was just an effort to get out of bed, but I just needed that time to heal and get over the grief of losing my sister, because we were very close and we'd speak several times a day, but no one's ever replaced her. So it's all these sorts of hard challenges, and I sort of had a whole lot in a short space of time dealing with things, but I was obviously able to cope, and otherwise I wouldn't have got the mission. But it's that sort of a journey of the adversity that gives you your strength. When you've got to really dig deep, and through that adversity I dug deep, and I had to keep asking, what can I do? Give me the strength. What do I? And I just kept following the information. And sometimes you don't listen, but one of my rules is, if I hear something 3 or 4 times, it's the same sentence or thing.
Yes.
That means it's the creator talking, or the source, or my higher self. Just go and do it. So part of my journey. I just feel, even by sometimes I take these skills and tools of mine for granted, and I don't realise that there is a need out there to help people who aren't aware. And I wrote an ebook last year. I did a public speaking course, and the girls in the group said, oh, you've got to get this out there. And so that's led on to the summit. So I think everything's just feeding, one step at a time, building onto each other. And I've just been blown away interviewing all these wonderful people and hearing their story, and hearing, the similarities and the parallels, even though they're all different and from all different, parts of the world. It's just amazing. So that's how I've sort of come to using my intuition. I sort of bless it, we've got it, and it's just saved me, I suppose, so many times.
Yeah, the thing about intuition, it's always there. We're born with it. It's in the womb. It's there all the time, that beautiful instinctual of knowingness. And when we step into it, we truly actually understand it is the truth. We don't need to verify or validate it. We trust it. But our human sides of it, and the conditioning of life, is always trying to dictate the head, the information, the intellectualism. And if we do not ignite that along with the intuition, the heart and the soul, we are only really operating on one cylinder and not on all 4. And that intuition will never guide us wrong, because it is that divine source energy. It only knows that truth. Although, we talk about the universe and its creativity, when something dies, something else is reborn. It doesn't know hate or love. It just is. The hate and love is a human condition, and what we feed will grow. You feed hate, it's going to grow. You feed love, it's going to grow. So when we come from a place of love, that intuition to us is going to guide us down the right path. So that intuition and heart have to be in partnership with each other, don't they? Because that's how you know where to go and what to do and how to serve humanity.
Yeah, and usually one of my sort of little rules of thumb is that listen to your heart and follow your heart, and then the head will follow. The heart is the driver, the heart is the key. So once you listen to your heart, the head will just come along for the ride and follow, and I suppose give you the instructions. And it's really key, I've noticed, even speaking with all the experts about distinguishing between your intuition and your fears, and sort of where the intuition, the energy, where you can feel it in your body. And normally I've found myself, and a lot of the guests have found, the intuition is in the heart area and the fear is in the stomach area, just that tightness. But then another part of it is you can feel uncertain, and that's that gut feeling, which is also worthwhile to note, to trust that. So you've got to just distinguish within yourself, and that's through practice.
Yes.
How to tell, is this intuition or is this just me making something up? And that's why
or fear,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But that's why I sort of have my rule. If I get goosebumps, if I get tingles down my back or spine, I thought that's, ultimate truth. That's the guidance. You're on the right path. And even if you're in a conversation. And then when I said earlier about having the repetitive sentences, that they're telling you, so you've got to listen to that. So that's another one of my rules of thumb. Even though you might think, oh no, I don't want to do that, you keep hearing it. You just got to go out and do it.
Right. Yes. Well, and another thing is the tightness of body, isn't it? If you find yourself contracted, then you're in resistance. You can't receive in that space of being. That's when you've actually stepped into kind of fear or doubt or whatever. So if you kind of take that breath and open up and then allow that intuition to come in, because that's how it flows. That intuition is like a deep breath. It's you don't need to fight it. And you'll find your whole body is relaxed with it, right? And then it's just understanding what it is it wants you to do. But if you can't do it, if you're intense all the time, you have to loosen up in order for that intuition to flow. Yeah.
And you can ask for more guidance. Like I will say, give me clear, when I'm sort of setting the intention. I know I'm looking up, but you don't have to. I'll just ask, please give me clear guidance and messages and actions to take. What's the next step? Or tell me more. Give me clarity, or tell me again with more details, and just wait for that information. And it doesn't come straight away. It might come
push it.
when you're having a shower, or if you're driving around somewhere and you're relaxed because you're focusing on the driving.
Yes,
you'll get that inspiration. Or when you're asleep, because the inspiration comes in when your mind is in that sort of theta, that relaxed state, either when you're just before you're waking up or just before you're going to sleep. So it's when the conscious mind can't interfere, is when the guidance comes in.
Yes. So, redirecting your mind, either to reading a book or watching a movie, sometimes takes you out of yourself, and which then allows the knowledge to come to the forefront. But we get in our own way, don't we, with this chatter all the time. So sometimes we have to find what removes this head chatter, that will allow then that intuition, that knowledge to come to the forefront. Because it could be coming up and your chatter is going, yes, but, and we don't want the yes buts, we want the I see. So we have to put ourselves in the right frame of mind. And sometimes, as you said, driving, cooking, taking a shower, taking a walk in nature, maybe watching a movie, that's something that redirects your mind so that the intuition has a way of coming to the forefront.
Yeah, and that's really true. And also, as you're just talking, I just thought of, it's really important to tell people to be on that higher vibration. And I sort of I set myself a goal last year, or resolution, to do things that make me happy. So the whole thing last year, I would just do whatever it was, didn't question it, that made me happy. So generally it was creative things, gardening, cooking, writing. Because creating and designing clothes, that's another one of my interests. Every time you're immersed in something creative, then you'll get more ideas and the inspiration, you're in that zone. So you need to lift the vibration and just be happy and just be grateful and show gratitude, and just thank you for the wonderful people in my life. Thank you for the time to be creative. Thank you for, the wonderful job I have, the amount of money I have, the money that's coming in. And even thank things in advance. So I think if you start to do little tweaks of changing your life, it will make a huge difference down the track. And even to spend time being silent. And sometimes you've got to start with 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
Yes.
Um,
Don't look upon a silence as your enemy. It isn't. It's actually a beautiful gift to be in silence. It's a sense of place and peace that is there. It's the same when people talk about darkness and light. It's to be at home in the dark because you have the light with you. You are the light in the dark. And we're so busy running from things that we don't realize that if we just stop and face them and merge with them, that we will be less fearful. So raising your vibration, most certainly, because that also invites other people to raise their frequency to match your vibration. And that means you're going to have light wavelength people aligning with you, people who see and hear what it is you want to do because they're on that same vibration. So it benefits everybody to raise that vibration, doesn't it?
Definitely. And the more you can do, you know, the more you're going to raise your vibration, and you won't attract, as Sarah just said, like you won't attract negative people into your life. And if you do, they'll just bounce back because you're not resonating, you're not on the same frequency. And you also will attract positive experiences because you won't be in that dark energy of the lower vibration. So once you start getting onto that cycle of, you know, gratitude and focusing and just being happy and loving yourself and loving everyone and everything around you, it just lifts the vibration. And you can also help that by having a salt bath or an Epsom salt bath on a regular basis, because that draws out any negative energy. If you've been in situations that are uncomfortable, even shopping centres, hospitals, places where there are a lot of people or dark energy or dark corners, you can pick up little entities, and it's good just to cleanse it. Or if you're just feeling tired and it's all too much, it's good to have a salt bath just to clear yourself.
Yes, and if people only have showers, then you can use sage as well, right? Burn a little sage, switch it around, and it helps kind of clear that as well. And I think that's important. We know about cleansing our body, you know, even going on a deep cleanse internally, but we forget about the spiritual cleansing that we need to have. And that also brings up boundaries. And it's, you know, boundaries are not walls. But what they are is in that vibration that you resonate on is that you won't allow the lower vibration to come in and harm you. It can't rise up to that. But that boundary also sets out, I think, information for other people to know how to treat you, how to interact with you, at what level to meet you on. And that boundary is also for you too, of not saying yes to everything, and understanding that sometimes no is perfectly okay.
Yeah, that's really true. And sometimes as women, and this we do have trouble saying no, and I'm one of those people as well. But as Sarah just said, it's totally okay. And when you're in your power and in your white light, for example, you've got that strength to say that. And it's the way you phrase it. And it could be no, not now, or it could be no, never. But it's just, we all have to take that stand and take time for ourselves. And it's really important what Sarah just said about setting your boundaries. And it's also about having that clarity to set and to speak up, and that it's okay to say no. But sometimes, if you're like me, you might have to practice a little bit more.
Yes.
And it will become easier because we all like to help people and, I don't know, see the best in others and work with that. So that is a really key point. So work on that one. And if you've got if you find it difficult, maybe journal it, dig down, ask yourself some questions. What am I feeling uncomfortable about? What is it about, you know, me? Do I overgive? Do I, you know, say yes to everyone because I feel it's an obligation, or I've got this much energy, I can help everyone? So just ask yourself a few questions, and even ask for the guidance, and just see what comes through, and just be mindful of it. Once you have an awareness, you can work with a topic and then just see how it fits for you. You might say no every third time, or you might be able to work out a workaround. Depends whether no is lack of time or no is that it doesn't resonate with what your mission is. And if it doesn't, it will be easier to say no. But if it's something close to what you're passionate about and you want to help someone or help someone close to you, like a family member, sometimes no can be a bit tricky. But you ask for the guidance and see what comes in.
Yeah. No, not at this time, or I'm unable to at this time. And, the thing is that if you're a giver, it is so easy for us to constantly give and spend all of ourselves. And the problem with that, then you have nothing left to give. You're spent. If you allow yourself to step into that intuitive spirit and replenish yourself, your cup will runneth over. Then you have even more to give. And it's not about the amount. It's about what you're giving as being so much more powerful. So it's okay to place that importance upon yourself, to replenish yourself, because then you actually do have more to give when you do give it. So, sorry folks, we had a drop there. I was just saying that when you actually do replenish yourself, step into self, make yourself abundant, you have more to give. And it's not the amount that you give, it's what you give that is so much more empowering for other people. So replenish yourself, let your cup runneth over. You can still be of service to people, but it must not be at your expense, because then you become depleted or resentful or unable to do anything. So the replenishment of yourself is not being selfish. It's something that you really need to do in order to be able to serve mankind in whatever way that you're here to do it.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's easy for us to overgive, like Sarah just explained, and that also can take you off purpose. If you're busy giving to everyone, it's sort of you're not looking after yourself, as Sarah just mentioned, but you're also sabotaging what you're meant to do, and you're taking yourself off your mission. And that once you're clear on your mission and your purpose, then you'll know whether you're being tested on how strong that is for you.
Yes.
And you're being tested by people asking you to do things and asking you to go over here and help them over here and go over there and do something. But once you've got that clarity and the confidence and the strength about your purpose, you won't be off track, because you'll know straight away, and it's all part of the boundaries. You'll know, no, this isn't serving me. This is taking me off my purpose.
Yeah.
This is taking me off my mission. Sorry, I can't help you at this time. But so-and-so could, or, you could help by giving them a referral. So it's all goes hand in hand. It all works together. And this is sort of, I suppose, intuition in practice.
Yes, yes.
You have things lined up, your ducks are lined up, and you've got your clarity, you've got your confidence, you've got your boundaries, you know your self-worth, you know what you can offer, and you know that what the information that's coming to you and the information that's within you is true and correct. When you have that knowing and that strong knowing, then you'll just keep soldiering, you just keep moving forward, and everything will drop off by the wayside. But you will be tested, believe me.
Yes. Well, this is where, things like, astrology or whatever other medium you use, maybe angel cards or other outside tools become very relevant, isn't it? Because sometimes, we're in a state of confusion, or we're not quite sure what the message is. And this is when having these exterior things can help us find that clarity to actually understand what is the message I'm getting. So, we get drawn to something else. Maybe it's numerology or runes or the tarot. Find that's something that you resonate with, and then use it as a tool, because then it just helps you kind of comprehend the message that you've been given and how to use it.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I've used all those tools, and as you go through your journey of self-development, you'll change. The tools will change as you raise in your vibration and your frequency. You will move up the scale, I suppose, and have my example is with the oracle cards. I started off with fairies, and then I went to angels, and then I went to, I think, archangels, and then ascended masters. So it's just the level of, I suppose, information that you're resonating with. And you might go back to angels, but you just follow whatever feels right at the time. You just pick up that tool. I've used runes over the years. They've been really powerful as well. So it's a matter of using whatever feels right, and you just know. And if you're not sure, hold it in your hand, put it next to your heart, higher self or source, creator. Is this right for me at the moment? And if you can do muscle testing, which you can ask your body to show you a yes and ask it to show you a no.
Yes.
I like to stand facing north. Normally for me, yes is moving forward and no is backwards, and your body just moves. So ask those questions first, check what your yes and no is, hold whatever it is, whether it's a food, a vitamin, a book, a set of cards or runes or something, and just ask, is this right for me to use now? And wait a few moments. If it's strong, you'll certainly know yes or no, which direction. But if it's not, just wait and just see which way your body goes, and just keep asking the questions and drilling down and checking with your body, what does it feel comfortable with? And I also do that with products like herbs and things like that, or essential oils, and that's really helpful. So,
and don't argue with it, right?
No, exactly.
Especially like the runes, because they're very, very, they're going to address the moment. They're very much in the moment type of tool. And when I was going through my transition, I kept getting Haggis, which, you don't want Haggis. It's all about disruption. And I don't want disruption. I want growth and seeds. But then it's, no, you've got to go through the disruption, because that gets rid of what's not serving you. It's the house cleaning, isn't it? It gets rid of all of that so that you're ready to plant seeds that you can water and grow. But we sometimes get the message and we don't like it. Well, don't shoot the messenger. Address the message, because it's there for a reason.
Definitely. And it's just to give you the guidance and give you the tools that you need at that time. And you just have to follow it. Like this intuition, it's a bit like magic, but there's no cookie cutter formula. You just, whatever feels happy, makes you feel happy or feels right. You might be in a bookshop and you have no intention of buying a book, but you're just wandering around because you're relaxed. You're just looking, you're curious, and something jumps out at you. And you read it, you think, oh, okay. And you might even put it back in the shelf. I've done this. And then I've thought, I'll have another read. So I've done that a couple of times. But then I have ended up buying it, and I might have bought it not that day, but another day. But generally, if I've pulled it out a few times, that's my little rule of thumb. 2 or 3 times if I've touched something, it's, meant to be for me, and the message is there.
Yes, always. And continues to be there. I mean, that's how entirely I buy the books. I just go in and let a book speak to me. But there's also the beauty of the books on your shelf, and it's like, what message do I need to know today? I'm just being drawn to a book and literally opening it up to whatever page, and you will invariably find what's on that page today. It right there in front of you is what you need to know in the moment right now. And it's another wonderful guide to help you forward.
Yeah, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
So, if you're open-minded, you think, oh my God, I didn't realise I needed that, but it made so much sense.
Yes.
And I find even on Facebook, things pop out and I think, oh, okay, I'll go and do that. So I bought, and sometimes even doing courses that you need to do or people you need to listen to. It will just come out and something resonates with you and whatever the message is or whatever they've got to say. So you've got to just follow it.
Well, they say, right, when you're ready, the teacher will come. But don't always think the teacher has to be somebody who is official. It can come in all sorts of messages. As you said, you see something posted on Facebook and it's like, oh, that's speaking to me. That's how I feel, or that's the message I needed right now. So the teacher's going to come to you in all different formats, all different ways. You've just got to be open and ready to receive.
Definitely. And yeah, it's easier than, it doesn't have to be difficult. You just... The rule of thumb is it's repetitive 2, 3, 4 times, and if it makes you happy and if you just feel it in your heart and something goes, yep, that feels right, just go with it. And if you're in doubt, just go with it anyway and see what happens.
Yes.
So
What have you got to lose? Nothing.
exactly. So if you've got to prove yourself, oh, this is a lot of hogwash, just do it and see what happens. And you might be pleasantly surprised. I'm sure you will be. Like Sarah and I can't both be wrong. We're both on the same page. And so all the other experts. It's just a matter of doing what feels right for you at that time. And as you grow and develop, you'll be attracted to different things and different people, different experiences. And it's all part of what we're here to learn and do on our soul's journey. And you can't really question it. Like I wasn't really wanting.
Right. Resistance is futile. It's going to get you one way or the other. It's just going to keep turning the channels until it tunes into you, right? And then finally there's going to be something that goes, aha, that's what they've all been talking about.
Yeah, and you might even say, oh, I wish I got this earlier, like years earlier. Why did I have to resist and not get it? And you just think, oh my gosh, you know, this is fabulous. So it's all a journey of what you've meant to learn and do. I wouldn't have known, you know, back when I was young that I was going to have the cards dealt to me and the experiences that I've had to have. But I've obviously needed them as part of my growth and development, and as part of the journey to share with others. So, you know, some people have got their hardships earlier on. Some people are having it in the middle of their life. Some people have it towards the end of their life. You can't predict when it's going to happen. So
you just go with the flow, and that's the thing is it's to show you the strength and courage you have. And I'm sure with all the people that you interviewed, the stepping into intuition generally probably came from the life experience, something that happened that then kind of switches you on, sends you on this journey. And that journey then becomes something of an understanding of why you're really here. What's the meaning of life, right? Well, the meaning of life is to serve your purpose, serve your humanity with your instrument, whatever that may be. And when you step into that, then it really does, everything makes sense, everything that you've been through. While you're going through it, of course, you don't always know. So sometimes it's just be willing to go through the pain that you're going through right now. You will come out the other end. You can't avoid it or go around it or under it. You have to go through it. And if you're willing to it's like giving birth. You're going to be in labor pains, folks, but it's worth it when you're holding that child at the other end. So when you've gone through it and you hold yourself and you see what you have become, this new birth that you have become because of that experience, it really is something quite awesome.
Yeah. Yes, and that's so true. You just can't question it. I think, you know, you continue learning. My philosophy is you just continue learning and growing until the day before you die.
Right. And then continue after that without the body and the spirit and come back again and do it all over again. Yes. Yeah.
Go in a different shape and form.
Exactly. Yes. I always say I think I would like to come back as a cat, a lap cat, nice and pampered. Can I have an easy one, please?
Yes, that's what I think too. But I don't know, it's interesting listening to people and their stories and how they've come about connecting with intuition and what they're doing and what they were doing. There's a whole plethora of all sorts of jobs and things that people have done prior to being on this journey and connecting to your intuition. So I've just enjoyed interviewing everyone. It's just been awesome, amazing, and it's just feels right that we're getting the right message out there to help everyone who may not be aware, or as I say, you might have forgotten about your tools and you think, oh, okay, this is great. So it's just been magic. I've really totally enjoyed this experience of interviewing all the various people, and I find everyone fascinating, and no two stories are the same, but as I say, the common thread is, like Sarah just explained, that things have happened in people's lives, so they just get to a point. I've been doing this role or job for 20 or 30 years. I've had enough. I want to do more. There's more to life. So they're opening up and saying, how can I serve? Basically is, and being of service at the moment is to help others open up and tune in, find their intuition, find their inner voice, get that clarity and confidence, be on purpose, find your purpose. And your purpose can change. Like when I was a teenager, I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a barrister. And then I went to law school for a few years, and that didn't resonate with me. But then I went back And I thought I didn't want to hear negative things, helping people get out of traumas. So I went back and did a psychology major because I listened to someone talking about counselling. I did a counselling course and I thought, oh my God, that's how I can help. That's what I want to do. So I wanted to do the psychology training to have the credibility, because that goes, I feel, alongside some of this metaphysical work. And what I got out of my psychology training is I don't want to be counselling someone for years and years and having them relive the trauma.
Yes.
Let's find something that's quick and easy, get to the heart of the issue, heal it, just dissolve it, whatever, move on, get on to the next thing. So and then I was on a mission to try and find tools that are quick and easy. And I sort of do love tapping. I love the theta healing, because you drill down, you get to that core issue, you pull it out, and then there's a ripple effect that other things it might have been attached to or holding on to just dissipate. And just having those processes and that experience has sort of made me a better coach, a better counsellor, really good listening skills, but just being in tune. And I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. I'm here to empower people, because you make the decisions yourself. And even doing readings, I'll give you choices. I'm not here to say, well, you need to do this, this, and this, and then, the man of your dreams will come into your life. But if you do this and this, they won't. So it's just giving you tools and information that I'm guided, and I always ask for the messages that I'm guided to give someone that they're open to and ready to receive. Like, we could have the messages, but if you're not ready for it, there's no point giving it to you.
No.
And just working from that heart space. So it's just a varied journey, but to me, I keep being the best version of myself each day and each week. And that keeps evolving, like we all do.
Well, as you pointed out, the unraveling, sometimes we're like this big ball of wool. We don't know where the end is. How do you pull it out to start unraveling it? And we can't see it because we are it. And somebody else coming along and go, there's the end. Let's just pull that out. Let it all unravel and see what's really there. Because when you're immersed in it, all you can feel is the immersement. Everything is like a big clutter. You can't undo yourself. You need that expert from the outside who can see where those ends are, or that you think it's this issue and really it's that issue, and you hadn't even thought about that. You didn't even know that this issue was covering up what the real core issue is. So you need somebody that can go in there and pull those threads, unravel you, then help you through the various skills that you've got, tapping and the Reiki and all the other skills you've got, even the readings. As a reader, I know how that then helps people with the map to move forward. Because sometimes it's like, well, where do I go now? Or just that map forward. All of these things helps people step into their own empowerment. You're not doing it for them. All you're doing is unpacking their own backpack and showing them what they need to throw out and what they need to take with them on their journey.
Exactly. And that's what we're all doing. A lot of these experts, we're all doing this in various shapes and forms, and various levels and different tools and modalities. But at the end of the result, it's the same, is to empower people and to serve and to show them, the gifts that they have within themselves. And
we all have a gift within themselves. Everybody has a gift within themselves. As I say, they're all part of that instrument, that orchestra. What's your instrument? Because that then becomes your contribution to the orchestra, and you may be denying it. Because, I was meant to be a lawyer. I became a lawyer. I didn't like being a lawyer, but I guess I'm a good lawyer. Well, if you're not in joy of what you're doing, you're not in heart of what you're doing, you're not attached to your soul purpose. And so therefore you cannot be living your true service.
Exactly. And that's what happens. I feel people start off with one idea and they do that, as I said earlier, about 20 or 30 years, or it could even be less, and they think, oh my God, they're feeling empty. Because you just said, Sarah, they're not on their heart's purpose.
No.
They're doing something because their family have done it, or it's the right thing to do, or everyone in their family has been an accountant or a lawyer or a doctor, so I've got to do that. But even though I don't really feel like that, they're not listening to their own inner voice and their own inner guidance. But over time, something happens
Yeah.
and that emptiness comes about and you think, oh, there's got to be more to life than this. So that's what we're all here to help each other to find that, you know, that joy and that passion and that heart-centered space to listen to what you're meant to be doing. And you could be doing multiple things. Like I feel happy doing lots of different things, and you can pull it all together and share it with others. Otherwise, you can also just do things that make you happy for yourself.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You know, there are some people who can play multiple instruments, right? So, you know, and it's again, do not measure yourself by somebody else. You know,
No.
this is your journey. This is your life. The only thing you have to do is know you. What is your beingness? How is your soul ignited? Your joy in your heart singing its own song that then becomes a contribution in service. It's the only person you need to know is you. Because then when you really know you and you step into you, your beingness, that's when you'll know what to do. And you don't need to measure yourself with anyone else. I don't care. That's their journey. That was their soul contract. What's yours?
That is so true, Sarah. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because in this competitive world, we are comparing ourselves with our peers, our neighbours, who's in the street, who's at the same school as our kids and things like that. So the only one you can compete with is yourself, and you just become a better version of yourself by doing what you need to do. And all that competition, that's the lower vibration, that's the fear, that's the society, I suppose, through systems, they're controlling people, but you just don't listen to it and just listen to yourself and listen to the guidance that you get, because there's
And
no
to know you're also enough. You know,
yeah.
I mean, your personal growth is not just to make yourself better because you weren't good enough. You are good enough. All you're doing is refining your art,
Yes.
refining your instrument,
Yeah.
and exploring new options that you can use your instrument to play with. So it's the embedment of you is not because you were flawed. The
No.
embedment of you is to see how far you can go.
Yeah, thanks for explaining that, Sarah, because yeah, people might think they aren't good enough. Everyone is good enough,
Yes.
and they're good enough where they are here and now in this journey, here and now listening to this interview. You are good enough right now. So I love your analogy of fine-tuning your instrument or your instruments. That's
Yes.
what we're doing. We're just
Yeah.
getting better and working with what we're meant to be doing and working with. And look, you still need to have, you know, money to pay your bills and
Mhm.
live in this society and do what you need to do. And you might need to have a day job. I've got a day job. I work full time at the moment, which I absolutely love and enjoy. And it's that interaction with people.
Mhm.
And it's busy. I'm an executive assistant for 3 directors in a very busy department. So, but I'm still of service, and
Yes.
I still need to pay my bills and do what I need to do. But I love doing this other work as well. And I sort of feel if I was to do this work all the time, I enjoy it and I love it and it's my passion. But I also need to have that connection with others and still be of service. I feel I can't be a space cadet tuning in all the time. But, you know, we need to be grounded. We need to live in this 3-dimensional world. So we still need to do what we have to do. And by following your passion and your heart, you can do it all, because I've got the energy to do it all, because I'm happy in both realms.
More importantly is that because you've embraced who you are as a person and what your contribution is, you bring your fourth, fifth dimensional self to the third dimensional world, and you bring them out of that third dimension into that fourth dimensional world and show them what a fifth dimensional world can be like. So you're not going down to be with them, you're having them rise up to be with you. And so that benefits them. That vibration of you benefits them.
Yeah, that's so true. Because it was only on a couple of days ago, someone said, "Oh, intuition. Oh, my intuition's like a brick. Can you show us? You know, could you run something at lunchtime and show us how to tune in?" I said, "Yeah, of course." So I just thought that was refreshing to hear that. And
Again, when they're ready, there you are, right?
exactly, Sarah. I thought, okay, this will be good. So yeah, it is a matter of just bringing everything together and doing what you need to do, and just following that guidance. I can't stress that enough, and just allowing yourself. That's really important as well, to allow yourself to listen, to act, and just to, embrace it all. Don't question it, because, yeah, we're in this, technological era where we're thinking computers and all the time our brain's going into overdrive. But take the time out to smell the roses, and just take the time out to spend time with you. Take the mobile phones away, no computers, no nothing, and sit outside or, go for a walk and just listen and just be open to whatever comes to you. I usually do things, if I'm worried about things before I go to sleep, I'll ask, give me the guidance for when I wake up, because sometimes I don't remember my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll either get the guidance through your dreams if you are that way inclined, or you just ask for the messages to come to you when you're waking. And so you just allow that you'll get the answers that you need to get. And they'll come within, 24, 48 hours generally. The more you practice, it's like any muscle, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. And then things will just flow naturally. Like sometimes I don't sit down and meditate or have quiet time, like consciously. But if I'm relaxed and walking, things will just come to me because I've been practicing and I've developed.
You're tuned in. You're channeled. That's the thing. You can channel anytime, anywhere. If you are open with that channel, all you have to do is say, please guide me, and that guidance will come to you because your channel is already open. So it's learning how to open up those channels, but in trust, in love, in a good vibration, because that then invites the right knowledge. So it's just being open and ready to receive, but you have to let go of the fear. You have to let go of dictation of how you're going to receive your information, because you've got to be open to as it's going to come. It could come with you standing at the cash register and somebody having a conversation and just saying something. That's the answer I've been looking for, right? We don't know how it's going to come to us, so we have to be open and ready to receive in whichever way it comes.
Yeah, and if you're not sure, just ask for the guidance.
Yeah.
Just tell me more information. Tell me what action steps. What's my next step? What's my next action? Because the universe loves action.
Yes.
There's no point us all sitting here in our rooms or outside or under a tree, praying and meditating and doing things and not taking action.
Right.
Because you're not showing the universe that you're serious. So you have to put it out, ask the question, put it out there, ask for the answers and the actions, and then take action. Then the universe will know, or spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, will know that you're serious, and that they'll give you more information once you ask for it. And also to say thank you.
Yes, gratitude is huge. Mm-hmm.
To say thank you for the guidance, or thank you for connecting with angels. Thank you for helping me. If I'm in the garden, I can't do something, or I'm struggling to pull something out. Angels, give me a hand, help me. And I can just feel it. I can pull out the plant or the weed or whatever. And I will say, thank you, angels. And when I'm driving, I ask angels to help me. And I will just say sometimes when there's been a near, oh, thank you, angels. Thank you for taking care of me. It's really important to say thank you to the source and the entities or the aspects that are helping you.
And to each other. And to each other. Really important.
Yes, exactly. And you can do it. Energetically. If you're not near the person, you can always, hand on your heart usually works, and just have that thought. Thank you.
Yeah,
or
it will get there.
Wonderful people for coming into my life. I thank a wonderful job that's coming to me, or whatever you're wanting. Thank it first, and then just take the actions to bring it into your life. So
I would say find something to believe in. Act on that belief and commit to that action. A lot of problems with manifestation, people think they just send it out like an order they would to Amazon and wait for the Amazon delivery. It's like, this is your desire. Now you have to act on that desire. All you're asking is that guidance to act in the right way to be able to manifest that desire. But you've got to take the action. And if you're not going to take the action, it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. They'll just think that, you're not serious.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's again about having this clarity and confidence and finding the inner voice. And look, you might journal, and what you ask for could change over 3 to 6 months or 12 months, a year. It changes over time, but you just have to keep getting that, having clarity and just putting it out there. And if it's not for you, you'll find out soon enough. It won't feel right. So then or then you tweak it. Oh, if I do this, that might, you know, it's just an ongoing organic process.
Like a recipe.
Yeah,
You're going to keep trying until you get that cake just right.
exactly. That's so good. I love that. I love cooking and changing recipes. That's
Exactly. And of course, you know, we made a cake last month and it tasted this, but this month we're going to add a different ingredient to it and see what happens, right? So that's sort of, be adventurous. And that's
exactly.
part of being a human being, is stepping into wonderment and being adventurous.
Yeah, and keep tasting your cake mixture while you're making the recipe. Just keep tasting it. Oh, add this, add that. Just keep tasting it and tweaking it. Taste and tweak. For, you know, that's a good analogy when you're baking.
Don't get stuck in a rut. You know,
Yeah.
you've got to change things up. Otherwise, your palate becomes very blah. You know, we want to keep the taste buds excited as to what is coming.
Yeah, because you need to keep the passion going, because
Yes.
that's what is also one of the drivers, I believe.
Yeah.
It's the passion in your heart and what you want to do. And when you're passionate, everyone feels it.
Yes.
And they help you as well with your passion. And the passion comes through clarity and confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
yeah, you become a joyful person that people want to be around.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And life does become easier. I always set the intention every day. Please, my day goes smoothly and easily with grace and ease. And generally it does. Even though it can be busy and crazy busy, it's manageable. But at the end of the day, it's with grace and ease. Everything gets done.
Yes, that needs to be done. There's always more to do. But you got done today what you needed to do. And that's okay. Close everything up. Take time. Change your channel. You know, do whatever you need to do somewhere else. And when you come back to it, you'll be able to do the next part with ease. And don't go, oh, I didn't do that today. I didn't get that accomplished. I'm so stressed. Let it go.
Exactly. Yeah, tomorrow's another day.
Exactly. It'll be there tomorrow, just like dirty dishes, right? Yeah, exactly. If you don't wash them, they'll still be there.
Yeah. So no, it's all part of the process.
It is. So, my dear, what do you offer yourself as a program for your clients? How do people get hold of you? And also, can you give a link to the summit as well?
Yes. The link to the summit, the summit is Connecting to Your Intuition Masterclass, and there's a /Troy because it would be connecting to Sara's radio interviewing program. And I have my website is daybydayspirit.com, and there are programs on that. And I will be offering an ebook, which is like 5 steps to connecting to your intuition. So it links into the masterclass. So that is really offering practical steps, and I give the 3 top most important points around each of these 5 topics. So that's something that came to me relatively easily. And I feel like it was guided. When I was writing it, putting it together, it was part of a course and we had a time frame. So that was excellent because I just got the information that I was meant to get to write, to share it with everyone. So I'm willing to do that. And just connect with me, as I say, on daybydayspirit.com, or I've got Facebook pages, Day by Day Spirit. I will be setting up down the track a group, a closed group for Connecting to Your Intuition Masterclass. So that will be set up and free to join, ask questions if you have, share your feedback, and we'll just see how it evolves. It's going to be organic, Sarah. So the process will continue. So I love to interact and connect with people. That's part of who I am. So I feel the Facebook group will be a really good starting point. But if you want to email me, I've got Gmail, Challenor88 at gmail.com. So there's all sorts of different ways of connecting.
Will you please spell your name and also give us the mastery one again, and also your site again, just to reaffirm?
Thank you. So the site, the link is Connecting to Your Intuition Masterclass /Troy. My surname is actually, I think, French origin, and it's CHALLENOR. And my website is daybydayspirit.com, and my email address is Challenor88 at gmail.com.
And Di is just simply DI.
Yeah, short for Diane, but I thought because the surname's so long, a short name works.
We've got to abbreviate somewhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Well, I mean, it was a pleasure to be on your summit, and I know you've got some great people there. And this is coming up June 18th is when they
that's
start.
correct. Yes, that's when we're going to be starting. So it's been an absolute pleasure, and it's just been a wonderful journey interviewing everyone, interviewing and meeting with you, Sarah. So I thank you for being a participant, and I look forward to the feedback that you want to send. So it's open for everyone to just see what resonates with you. There'll be over 20 people, over 20 experts I've interviewed. So it will be played, I think, 2 experts a day. So there will be time for replay due to time zones and things like that. So
Right.
if you've got a question, post it on the Facebook group once it happens, or email me. I'm more than happy to help.
Exactly. And so sign up now, right? Just sign up now to get registered to receive the summit when it happens.
Yes, that would be great.
Okay. And don't miss this, folks, because it's through other people's journeys and other people's wisdom that we actually learn to pick up the tools that are going to help us on our own journey. There may be just something you resonate with what they've said. It could be even a place that you're in right now that they have been in. How did they get out of it? What tools did they use? What perspectives did they look at life on? And we learn from other people. So please do tune into the summit. And take notes, because
Yes,
you'll find that there's so much there that and write it down, revisit it later, because you will notice that there's so many answers there for you in somebody else's journey.
yes. And the beauty is it's a free online series.
Mm-hmm.
So we're putting it out there to help as many people as we can. I just think the more the merrier, just to get on the journey, raise your vibration. And every expert has been asked the same question, and that is, what's been your personal story? How did you get to have the business that you have today or ended up with? So that's where some of the gems are, just listening to their personal story, because they're all different, but they've all got that common theme of tuning into their intuition.
Right.
So the questions are the same for each of them, so then you can compare if you need to. But I just thought keep it systematic and simple, and it's just about their journey. And they all do a demo using me as the client, so it's authentic, and there's nothing been rehearsed or practiced before I've interviewed them, so it's all as it is. So
yeah, all organic.
yes, and you can follow at home yourself while you're watching the particular expert. So just get yourself in a comfortable chair and space, and you can follow along and go through the demonstration with each expert as they're doing it. So it is meant to be sort of, I suppose, global, one to many, that you can all do it in the comfort of your own space. And I really recommend that you do that. And as Sarah said, take notes, because there's lots of gems, or, buy the series and replay it when you need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Di, for being with us here today. And doing for what you're doing. I had looked at doing summits at webinar at one point, and I thought I am way too busy with 7 or 8 shows a week and other hosts, etc. But this is a platform that I really do like to share other people's summits and webinars, because I know that you're bringing a mountful and bountiful of information. So thank you for taking this path.
My pleasure. And thank you for having me, Sarah, and participating and being on the journey with me. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed having a chat with you today. It's refreshing to find someone on the same page.
Exactly. We're in the same vibration.
It just makes it so much easier. But everyone out there who's listening, you'll be all on the same page when you're when you're ready. So don't fret if you're not. You'll be there soon. So
just be willing to turn up your volume and turn those knobs on the channels and open up, and you'll just start receiving. And trust it. Trust it. Don't be afraid of it. Trust it.
It's as easy as that.
Yeah.
So it's been fabulous.
Well, thank you so much, Di. And please, folks, do sign up now. And it starts on June 18th, but get registered right now so you can start receiving the information as they start. And be prepared to have a wonderful lesson on life that will help you on your own journey, because that's what it's all about. We learn best from others, and because it inspires us to take our own journey with the right tools. So until next time, folks, bye for now. For more wonderful shows like this, please go to selfdiscoveryradio.com, podcasts, and see our lineup. And if you wish to support us, we have a funded button. Please stay tuned for our next show.